Great evening. I'm so glad to see you all tonight, and thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us tonight to explore cultures. My name is Lita, and I'm the leader from Latvian community here in Birmingham. And tonight we will be exploring and having a peek into beautiful culture, Russian culture. And I just wanted to say thank you to Oval. It's our voice in arts and literature. It's a consortium that gives us this opportunity to have these sessions, meet together and explore. So tonight, like I said, we're going to meet beautiful people, artists, volunteers, moms, children who share their love for their culture. And just join us. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. You can put in the chat box and we will have them on and we will try to answer. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them. And hopefully you're going to be enjoying tonight. So I would like to ask to join me in the studio, our first guest, Alena. Please join us. Hello.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Lita.
And we have as well, ladies, please introduce yourselves and let us know how we pronounce your words properly, your names properly.
Hey.
Yeah, my name is Irina. I'm one of the founders of UIL and CIC. And this is my colleague, Olena.
Olena, and I'm like Irina, founder of our organization called UIL. And in a bit I will explain to you in details what we're actually doing and what the message we're carrying for our community and actually for all Britain and all world.
Perfect. Before we start, I'm just curious. I'm a curious person. So for people who don't know Russian, who don't know anything about your culture, what's the easiest way to say hi? Like not like good afternoon, good evening, but just hi. Do you have a way you say hi?
Yeah, the easiest word is привет.
Привет.
Yeah,
привет.
Beautiful. So, привет, ladies. So, I know that you prepared a lovely video to share with us. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
We could start with that. I'm really curious to hear more about your work, about your community, and maybe more about yourselves as well, where you're coming from and where the love of the culture joins.
Sure.
We have in the video.
Мы давно блинов не ели, мы блиночков захотели. Ой, блины, 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 вы блиночки мои. Ой, блины, 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 вы блиночки мои. Наша старшая сестрица печь блины да мастерица. Ой, блины, 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 вы блиночки мои. Ой, блины, 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 вы блиночки мои.
Our organization has three founders, myself, Julia, and Irina. Our organization has been established to support children and their families from Eastern Europe to adapt and assimilate themselves into living in the UK and to promote social cohesion, health, and well-being. We do this by providing community and social activities, networking opportunities with those in a similar position, and signposting to other support services that they are able to access. We deliver various sessions and looking at how families can integrate themselves into British culture while preserving their ethnic traditions. We believe that integration not happening just through learning the language, but through understanding the values culture, and taking part in activities within the community. All our projects seeks to bring social, isolated, and lonely members of our diverse community together and participate in services we are offering. Our services and projects, I will explain a little bit what we're actually doing and which services we are providing. We are tackling educational inequalities by providing child monitoring service within schools and within Kids Club to help children to integrate and improve their language skills. Also, we're providing family support services to help families to understand family law and child protection regulations, to help families to understand British education system. Cultural events and social gatherings to help migrant community to keep their cultural identity. Also, we're doing informational workshops to help migrants to understand British law and culture. Also, we're doing social groups for adults 50 plus to tackle their anxiety and isolation issues. And thank you for your listening. And I will pass in next time to Irina.
Lovely, thank you.
Thank
Lena.
you.
So thank you, ladies. That's beautiful. You're doing amazing work. I was looking at the pictures and listening to music, and I was like, I want to dance too. It's actually really engaging.
Absolutely, yes.
So I'm hoping that when you have the next live event, that we can be present and we can meet up and we can actually share with other people.
That would be lovely. This was our last event pre-lockdown. It happened 8th of March last year, just 2 weeks before lockdown happened, the very first lockdown. So it was a huge event. Over 500 people attended, and it was really, really successful. Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
A little bit more about the costumes. I just love the colors, and they're really bright and they stand out. Do you have anything else you can tell where the costumes come from? Is there specific areas and why specifically the crowns the girls has?
Yeah. Basically, because U Island, we're not only Russian culture, we're more Russian-speaking organization, which means we bringing together many different Eastern European countries. Those countries that have Russian language present in their life, in their culture. So, Latvia has a large population of Russian-speaking community, Estonia, Lithuania, Belarus, Ukraine, even Poland and Moldova, Bulgaria, Czech Republic, Slovakia, and so on. So there's lots of countries. Russia, I would say, is the smallest part in our organization because it's the least amount of migrants from actual Russia here.
Okay.
Majority are from Eastern European countries, part of the European Union. But what's binding us together is Russian language. So, for example, Olena today dressed in Ukrainian traditional outfit, but actually very similar to Latvians' traditional outfit. I'm sure patterns you noticed that, very, very similar. So,
but as well, it's not so bright as Russian. Like traditional Russian, it really stands out. Like we could see in the pictures.
Very bright. Lots of red, lots of flowers, lots of gold. So it needs to be bright. It needs to bring lots of happiness, smile. And we like bright colors to bring attention to ourselves.
That's beautiful. Just let me ask about yourselves, ladies. So your background, you just mentioned that the costume comes from Ukraine. So there is a hint, I'm guessing.
Yes, there is right hint. Olena is from Ukraine. Ukraine, so she can tell a little bit about the background.
Actually, I'm born in Belarus, but migrated to Ukraine at the age of 6 with my family. I'm from the military family. We travel a lot around the Europe and finally end up living in the Ukraine. And age of 20, I moved to UK. Love to call me to come over.
Beautiful.
Myself, I'm from mixed family. My mom was Polish and dad Russian. I was born in Russia, finished school there. Then I traveled to Poland to study. So I finished my master's degree in Poland, and then I moved to UK.
How did you meet ladies? How did how your roads crossed?
That's the third very important founder of our organization, Julia, who will come on a little bit later. She is our connector. She is, I would say, our main person that has lots of contacts, knows everyone, very popular figure in the Russian-speaking community. And she was the one introducing us. And then we just sat one day and decided, okay, we need to set up an organization.
That's beautiful. So regards languages, obviously traveling around and having a couple languages in family, and I think it's not only us, my family as well has a couple languages at the moment. So when you were children, how did you find difficult to have 2 or 3 languages spoken in the family? I don't know if that was the case. So, or now as well, working with the community, how you finding that? Which language children picks up easier from? I guess there's a Russian, is Polish, is Ukrainian. There's a couple of languages and English itself in between. So how does that work for yourselves?
Actually, I don't know. It was easy as a child. It's very easy for you to pick any languages. Like I could say about myself, even in my family, like back home in Ukraine, my sister and my dad, they speak in Russian, even though they're Ukrainian. My sister born in Poland because my family live in Poland. But till now, my sister, she's speaking Russian, and my mom purely speaking Ukrainian. And every time when I visit home, I try to talk Ukrainian. Honestly, sometimes people thinking that maybe something wrong, but I do love Ukrainian language. For me, it's like singing the song. It's beautiful language.
Great.
I can tell about my daughter as well very quick. She born in England, in Solihull, but age of 6, I took her to Ukraine, and she attended school there. When I took her there, she couldn't speak a word of Ukrainian language, and she attended school and learned the language, and now she can speak like properly Russian and Ukrainian to my mom and dad, and she feeling like she all the time missing Ukraine because of who we are, because of grandma and granddad. And I think this is so beautiful, and I'm really happy. It was a sad time, but it's a good time at the same time, because it's good experience for her. She learned so much of other culture, how things are there, then she can compare now with English culture as well.
I think that makes us richer, and the children generally, if they know where they're coming from, in a sense, like let's say we all live here, but we have maybe 2 countries, that mom comes from one country, dad from other country, they can appreciate more the other cultures around them, and it makes them maybe feel easier at school, that they recognize, okay, I'm coming from there, but it's normal. It's not anything wrong with me that I speak other languages, and it's rich. They're becoming richer if they know more languages, and they can communicate with more people. So regarding the stories when you were children, so would you read stories in Russian? Would you read stories Ukrainian or Polish? Or what's regarding the stories? What you remember yourselves? Which was the easiest for you to read in?
Yeah, all the three children were born in Poland, and we read stories to them in Polish and in Russian. Then my parents were still alive then, so they had to communicate. So they used the language quite a lot. And yeah, and my son, I spoke to my son, he will be 19 in 2 weeks. And I asked him if he remembers any of the stories. And he said he does remember one story about a little naughty mouse. It was like it was like it's a quite long story, but it's a poem at the same time, so it's rhyming. And he says that he remembers the story about the naughty little mouse that was going around and messing around with all the animals. He remembers that, and that was story read to him in Russian, and he loved that story.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, other kids don't remember much. They were very young when we moved to UK, and to be honest, this was I will explain why this was one of the reasons why we decided to set up the organization, because of the experience we had to go through ourselves as parents in a new country with little children, trying to help them to adapt, to integrate, and so on. So we kind of switched more into English, started reading more English stories, so when they go to school they understand what kids talking about, what teachers talking about, and so on. So there was lots of English TV present, lots of English stories, bedtime stories present, and this is the stories they remember. So I think the first, I would say 5-6 years of life are the most important. That's the background that they will have for the rest of their life. And I can see the difference with the oldest child that spent his first 6 years in Poland, and the younger ones that came here very little, or my last one was born here. So they are more towards English stories. Yeah, my oldest one, she still remembers Russian stories.
That's nice.
Yeah.
In the community, you do lots of. Sorry, my sound goes a bit old, I guess. In the community, so you use a lot of stories and rhymes in your original languages, in Russian, I guess.
Yes.
So the community's language is Russian, is that correct?
That's right, yes. Okay. That's the language that kind of brings us all together. So that was, as I mentioned earlier, one of the reasons why we decided to set up organization, because we watched our children, we watched some other friends' children, and we could see that it's good to integrate. It's good because they grow in here, they are British, and it's amazing to understand the country you live in and understand the culture and history. But also knowing that your parents came from different countries, we believe that children need to know their roots. They need to know where they're coming from, and they need to be able to identify themselves with various cultures. And as you mentioned earlier, they only become richer by being able to understand how much they have in them. And they can take the best from all the cultures, and basically they're the best. They're the best generation because they have best from all cultures.
Yeah, I've got to agree with that. And that's, I think, where we are actually quite fortunate that we live in such a multicultural city.
Absolutely.
There's, I'm thinking only the street I'm living on, there's so many cultures, and sometimes we don't even know who is living in our neighborhood. So that's why I'm really glad, ladies, that you accepted this invitation, and we have tonight the time to speak and know more about your culture. And I know that while you prepared for this session, that you did some great job with your children groups. educational groups, and there were some paintings going on and some more stuff there. Was that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So shall we bring up some pictures, or shall we start with the video? How you would like to?
If we can bring the picture of the instruments first. Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah, so these are the basic traditional instruments that used in Russia and Russian-speaking countries. They used also in Ukraine, in Belarus, and lots of countries that speak Russian language. Those are the simplest, most popular instruments. Mainly were created by peasants. Because obviously they didn't have money to buy expensive instruments like guitars or violins. So they would carve their own wooden little instruments, paint them so they look beautiful, and use them to play the music. So as you can see on the next picture, these are our children from the kids club painted some spoons as well in preparation for a little kind of music adventure with the spoons.
That's beautiful. I remember myself as well that we had spoons and we would clap them. And my little one loves all the natural. And when he gets to tappers and spoons and everything, that's his happy place. So.
It's the easiest. Anyone can do it.
But again, I just love the colors, like the instruments. If you would see, like in Latvia, we wouldn't have such a bright colors. I'm just amazed how actually colorful they are. And
we're over the top with that.
Sometimes too much.
Okay, so I could see that the children had a blast as well playing the instruments. So if we could please have the video of the children preparing the instruments, and then after that we will follow with the one that they playing them.
Yeah.
And we can see how they enjoy them as well. They look really beautiful. And I'm guessing, like when you started to explain them and they started to engage themselves, I could see how creative they were. Some were painting with their fingers, some of them with pencils. And, everyone finds their own way. And that's as well actually is part of OVAL. That's the idea of this consortium, that we actually bring different cultures together and we can experience them. And this series is one of them. So tonight we kind of having a taste there. We have experienced a little bit of your culture and what you do. And if someone is interested to find out or join in, then as well, there's Facebook pages available. And at the end of the series, we'll place them as well. So if you want to know more information, where to find these lovely ladies, and if you have children that would like to join in, please join in and allow them to experience cultures. And I think now we have the video ready, how the children play the instruments, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Было в деревне 4 двора, 4 двора, из ворот ворота, 4 двора, из ворот ворота. На 5-й двор живет миленький мой. Барыня, 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 сюда. радостной вести подает. А я молода, все догадлива была, а я молода, все догадлива была. Прялочку взяла, на сиделочку пошла. Барыня, 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 сударыня, барыня, 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 сударыня. Прежде не прила, только ночь провела. Прялочку под лавочку сама с милым легла. Прялочку под лавочку сама с милым легла. Заря занялась, я с постели поднялась. Заря занялась, я с постели поднялась. Иду ко двору, старый бродит по двору.
Well done. So beautiful. I love but like this costume that one of the girls had, like she had a massive crown. How do you call it? Is it a crown?
We call it kokoshnik.
Kokoshnik.
Yes, it's you see in Russian traditional outfits, girls would have to put something on their head.
Okay.
Because then it was traditional that girls would have to cover their head. So on the special occasions, they had these beautiful, almost crowns made for themselves. On an everyday basis, it will be something small, like a little piece of material, something like a scarf or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I guess the kids, when you let them know that, we're going to be dressing up, they must be very excited.
Oh, yeah. It's all very nice and colorful. So, yes.
Then most probably they turn around and, like, enjoying the dresses.
Something different from Disney dresses, not Frozen or Tangled. It's something different.
Those are the fairy tales. I remember when we were children, when we were like, my dad would tell stories or my mom would tell stories. Usually they had those snow fairy tales or something, like it's Frozen in our days, but back when we were children, it mostly would be something influence from Russian culture, I guess, in my childhood. So we would have this vision of it, but we never would wear them much. So you have amazing children in your community, I have to say.
Yes, we do.
And then actually you invited one amazing girl to join us tonight, and she must be really excited at the waiting when she's going to be brought up. So and I'm really curious to meet her, and I'm guessing you can bring her up, please.
Yeah, it's our little superstar, our little student from our kids club. Her name is Anastasia in Russian. And she will tell us about traditional Russian story about a tonic.
Do we have Anastasia with us? Can you please join us?
Yes.
There she is. Привет.
Привет, Настечка.
Do you speak English? Anastasia, do you speak English?
Yeah.
Yes. How are you tonight? How do you feel?
Good.
Good. You're excited?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. You prepared a story and you told a story, right? Can you please introduce the little characters that you had in the story? Would you mind introducing them?
Yeah. Maybe just who you are.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
tell
you can
us,
tell.
actually.
Please tell about yourself. Yes.
My name? Anastasia.
Anastasia, yes.
Anastasia Om.
Oh, so you speak English and you speak Russian. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes. How do you know two languages?
Because I was born in Russia.
Okay. And now you live in England. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes. And you learn English so
I
quickly.
live in two countries, from Russia to England to Russia.
Oh.
So do you speak more languages? Maybe you speak some more languages. So you speak two languages. Two. But you're really good in these two, isn't it?
Definitely.
Definitely. Because I just love the way you tell stories. Pardon?
I'm 6 years old.
You're really good. So could you please tell us about the story that you prepared? We can see you, we can hear you. Yes.
I will tell you my story. That's why I can tell you my favorite story. It's
You could
called
tell us about the little who participated in the story that you told, because we have the video of the story your mommy sent to us. Yeah, but we would like to know who is. Please, sorry.
in Russian. It's called Ryabka.
Yes.
About friendship. The story is about friendship.
Okay.
To help each other. And a little mouse can't help.
Even the little mouse can help. Beautiful. So who was in the story? What's in the story? Who comes first in the story?
A turnip.
Turnip. And how it's in Russian?
Ryabka.
Репка. That's turnip. Okay. Who comes after that?
Granddad.
And how is that in Russian?
Dedushka.
Dedushka. Okay. And who comes after that?
Grandma.
Grandma. And how is that?
Babushka.
Babushka. You're a really good teacher. I will remember my Russian. And who comes after that?
Granddaughter.
Granddaughter. And how is that in Russian?
In Russian is внучка.
Vnuchka. Okay. And then?
A doggy, and its name is Ruchka in Russian.
Ruchka, okay. And then?
And a doggy in Russian is called Sabachka.
Sabachka. Oh.
Next is a cat.
Sorry?
Next is a cat.
A cat, okay.
Котенок in Russian.
Котенок.
And the last one is a mouse.
Okay. And how is that?
In Russian is мышонок.
Mishonok. And that's the cute form, Mishonok. I'm guessing that's
It's a cute one. Yeah.
beautiful. Shall we hear the story? I'm really curious now. I know who is participating, but I would love to hear the story. Shall we watch all together the story?
Yes, let's watch the video.
Let's watch the video.
Сказка про репку. Посадил дед репку. Выросла репка большая-пребольшая. Стал дед из земли тянуть репку. Тянет, потянет, вытянуть не может. Позвал дед бабку. Бабка, бабка за детку, детка за репку. Тянут, потянут, вытянуть не могут. Позвала бабка внучку. Внучка за бабку, бабка за детку, детка за репку. Тянут, потянут, вытянуть не могут. Позвала внучка ручку. Ручка, ручка за внучку, внучка за бабку, бабка за детку, детка за репку. Тянут, потянут, вытянуть не могут. Позвала ручка кошку. Мяу. Кошка за ручку, ручка за внучку, внучка за бабку, бабка за детку, детка за репку. Тянут, потянут, вытянуть не могут. Позвала кошка мышку. Мышка за кошку, кошка за ручку, ручка за внучку, внучка за бабку, бабка за детку, детка за репку. Тянут, потянут, вытянули репку. Конец.
Hey, bravo! Well done. You are a superstar.
That was so beautiful.
It was in Russian.
Yeah,
Of course.
it's beautiful. And even if that it was in Russian, because you explained who the characters are, everyone could understand the story, at least a little bit.
Yes, thank you for sharing that. And actually, I remembered, it's very interesting. You're saying it's a Russian story, but when I was a child, I was told it's a Latvian story.
Yeah.
It's a traditional Russian story.
And in Latvia say it's traditional Latvian story, so we share part of the culture.
Here you go.
And at the school, we were doing a theater of this one as well. We would, all dress up and we would play it out. So it's a very beautiful. And I love the meaning, what you said. It's about friendship. It's about even the little mouse can help. And that's really, really important.
Yes.
And I have some animals over here.
Okay, do you want to show us?
Or can I tell how some animals are in Russian?
Yeah, would be great. Yeah.
A goat in Russian is kaza.
Kaza.
A pig in Russian is хрюшка. And a horse in Russian is лошадь.
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 And a baby
Beautiful. You're very smart, Anastasia.
And the
Pardon?
baby horse in Russian is called ребенок.
Well done. Oh, sweet
Oh,
girl.
you're amazing. Do you like singing as well, Anastasia?
Yeah.
Yes. So, I think... Pardon?
And on one song in Russian.
Okay. Do you want to sing a song?
Okay.
Good.
If you want, you can sing. I think the internet is...
It's out of a story called Колобок.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
Go on.
You can sing it. You can sing it or tell or just tell.
You can sing. You can sing for us.
Yes, if you want to, you can sing.
Я колобок, румяный бок. Я по седу пометю. Я от бабушки ушел, я от дедушки ушел,
Хорошо.
я от зайчика ушел, я от волка ушел, и я от медведя ушел, и я от тебя подам.
Ой, да. О, молодец. Oh.
That's really beautiful. Thank you very much, Anastasia, for joining us. Thank you for telling the story and teaching us some Russian. I hope you enjoy the activities that you do with the community. And we have another lady that we would like to invite. I think she's coming at least. So, Julia, are you here? Julia? Привет!
We can't hear you.
Are you muted?
So this is the lady that brought you together. Is that correct?
This is one of the lifetime, yeah, when you forgot to. Привет всем. Добрый вечер, привет. Как дела,
Hello.
Лита?
Thank you for joining
How are
us, and thank you for bringing these lovely ladies together and doing all the great work you're doing in Birmingham.
No, it's not me. We're all together. It's hard, our all together hard work. It's not me. I can't do this by myself because everyone, one of us, and lots of volunteers who is help. Thanks for them, like Anastasia and another families and children. Thanks for them, because if not them, we can't do that. This nice job, you know. So,
How many years do you do community work?
Officially, it's been
Officially-
4 years. Officially, it's 4 years since
but we started
2017.
before that.
Yeah, but
Few years before that.
absolutely, yes. That's why we decided to register officially as organization, because there was a need. We started probably 2015, if I'm not wrong. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And I'm just glad that I'm seeing the events, and I'm really curious to join in your events and participate more and do some great work together, hopefully. And Julia, as well, for yourself, do you remember stories from your childhood? Your parents read stories to yourself?
From my childhood, yeah, I remember it was like lots of stories, different. Especially, I actually find book quick because I was bought for children as well. It's a story here, yeah, because we have very colorful stories. You know, books is always like you can if you have a look,
Full of pictures,
and even children, they read very hard. They even draw picture, and can you see? It's like all book with pictures. It was writing of children. I have a proof they was read. At least there was true pictures.
So
No,
how do you
actually,
find
I
it?
love story a lot, you know, because I remember it's how Alona, she say, her sister, she speak Russian, yeah, and I remember opposite, because my grandma, she always speak. It wasn't Ukraine language, but it's very very similar to it, and yeah, we have a book, because I have another two sister and my brother, and it's book, you know, when you read, it's one part, one person, another person. So, and yeah, was read book like that, and it was in Ukraine language. And I always wondering why this I, because it's now I learned, you know, because it's I, it's like E, like English. I.
Okay.
So because we have different writing, and I just was wondering, what's this letter, you know? All the time was confusion, because we have many similar letters, but it's when you
They mean
pronounce,
different.
yeah. It was nice, yeah. And my
That's
mom and my grandma, they all the time they speak actually Ukraine language, and my granddad, he's from Ukraine, from one side. Another from Siberia. See? That's why we all mix together.
Absolutely.
Can't be a part of something.
That's beautiful, and what I love most about you ladies, that you really encourage people to bring up their cultures, and you know, you're not putting one culture down, or, you know, rising one other culture. You kind of bring them up equal, and who wants each culture, they go deeper in that culture and research and do things about it for people to know, and that's the beauty about it.
Yeah.
So
I just want to add a little bit, like when you was asking who was reading story to my child, it was actually Julia. She's the one who was introducing to my
You make me
daughter all stories. because Julia, she is a good mother for my daughter, and she done lots of work and support me and help me to bring my daughter with Russian traditions. What is really, really good. Thank you, Julia. It is the time to say to you, thank you.
So would you say that reading in your mother's tongue helps the children to pick up the language and not like to learn the language? Would that be correct said?
I can say
Definitely.
from
Yeah,
my
definitely,
side,
because we
Yeah.
have mixed family. My family is mixed. And and definitely children, they understand Russian and they can read even, but they don't like to speak because it's a bit, because they say it's accent. I say, listen, I'm speak with English accent, I'm fine. So, I say I'm fine because it's, you can't get that from it. Yeah, maybe some people, not me. Sorry.
It's just you. This is the little, like how we know it's a Julia.
it's
That's
unique.
all unique. That's why we read it
Thank you,
that.
Beautiful. And I think, is that correct, Julia? You wanted to bring up another rhyme, nursery rhyme? Would that be correct said? Is that correct? It's a song. It's a rhyme.
Yeah, it's not a rhyme. It's a folk of nursery rhyme. It's like Wincy Wincy Spider. Yeah,
Okay.
like we have here. So, and it's lovely Layla. Her name is Layla, mom of the child Sophia. Thanks for them. They help for us to record this video, and we can have a look. It's a nice one. It's from, I remember my mom and my grandma, she was doing for me, and I was doing for my children. Yeah, and it's like, oh, yeah, can you remember, ladies?
Yeah, I remember that. I remember playing that with my grandma. Yeah, all the time before going to bed, we used to play that game. And and I was always thinking, is it really like that? If I'm not going to help my parents, I won't get any food. Because this is what the rhyme about.
Actually, I want to I have an idea. Shall we watch that and then you can show us how to do it so I can learn as well?
Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's watch it, and then you can explain what's happening there, because it's going to be in Russian. So then you can help us with the translation and know what exactly the meaning is behind.
Yeah.
Yes. So let's please bring up the rhyme.
Давай ручку положи сверху. Давай. Сорока белобока кашку варила, всех детей кормила. Кому она дала? Этому дала, этому дала, этому дала, этому дала, а этому не дала. Почему? А ты кашку варил, ты дрова мне носил. Нет, не заслужил кашку, лентяй.
Thank you, Sophia and Layla. Thank you so much.
Sophia and Layla, thank you. Yes. So, what's the story behind?
The story is behind that the magpie mom is telling her baby, basically telling the baby off for not helping. So the story is the magpie white side cooks the porridge.
Okay.
And gives to this child, gives to this child, gives to this child, and to this child, but doesn't give to this child because he didn't have to cook the porridge. He didn't bring the wood, he didn't bring the water, so doesn't get the porridge.
Who is no working can eat, Lita.
No work, no food. So, and I remember this from my childhood. We used to do this all the time with my grandma before going to bed. Anytime I would, because I live in a big house. My family lived on the first floor, and the ground floor was my grandparents. And sometimes I would go sleep with my grandparents. And I used to love that bedtime because we used to do this all the time before going to bed. And as a little child, I was always thinking, oh, but I always need to help my parents, otherwise I won't get food.
What about you, Julia?
That's actually what I really like what I really like about cultures, and with these little rhymes and stories and songs, that there are so much values that actually be passing on to the little ones. And that's the thing, when we were little, we were doing or listening or singing or reading stories, and we could get one meaning. But then when we grow older, we see different angles of the story or the rhyme.
Absolutely, yes.
And it's actually like, it's a motoral. It's like you work with hands, and it's just you activating, and it's fingers, and it's so much actually going on there.
Yes, and also good meaning behind it.
Exactly. So it makes you think. It makes you work.
Actually, Lita, we just spoke after you asked us to be a part of your project. And we just thought about our old stories, what we're going to choose, which one to pick, because we have many, obviously. Yeah, we can't tell everything, but it's all our story about something. It's something teaching us, and it's lots of actually scary stories.
True.
Because
so
it was like
nightmares then.
No, because it was, it's tell in a nice way that you need to be nice to grow up nice, and that's mean it's nothing happened to you. So basically, it was everything to be in positive. So that's why we're positive. Because
it's all in your hands.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's just a blessing. And then I want to say thank you, ladies, for coming today, for joining us, for bringing so much laughter. And I just, really enjoyed this hour. It's nearly an hour since we've been chatting and having this little peek in your lovely culture. And I'm hoping that we can do that more, that we can do something together, and we can invite people who are watching us today and maybe on replay, that they can join in activities. And again, if they have a beautiful culture and they want to reach out to us and do something lovely together, we are here. We're willing to work together and do amazing work. And that's where Oval comes in as well. So that's the platform, that's the place where cultures can meet. We can come up with ideas and meet beautiful people like these ladies, and way more. So it's a lovely platform for good things to happen.
Oh, thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And ladies, if you could please give me a link so we could put up the link. How can we find you? Is there a website? Is there a Facebook? Could you type in the chat box so we can bring up?
Yeah, I already did for you. It's email and our website. Irina, can you check to correct?
Okay, please. Yeah, would be great if we could get that up, and so other people can see, and people who are watching us can check out what beautiful job you do, because obviously in this hour we can just show a little peek, and then if they have any questions, any interests, that you're there for them. There we go, we have the website up. And yes, thank you very much for your work, and enjoy your evening, and thank you everyone for joining us. Have a lovely night. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. How do you say bye in Russian? How do you say bye?
До свидания.
До свидания.
Пока.
До свидания. Пока.
До свидания.
До свидания.
Bye.
Bye.